This is actually happening. Anyway, time for cold coffee, amino acids, and to actually undertake the aspiring KOM Hunter workout. Oh, the rolling on the floor bit. Amino acids, cold coffee, although I've got a refinement coming on the cold coffee front, and water. Look at this. She's been copying my moves here. Well, nearly. Her execution, I've got to say, is perfect though. And Jane's is pretty nice as well, look at that. Well, as promised yesterday, on the agenda this morning is an all-body workout with an improvised kettlebell for the aspiring KOM Hunter, aimed at building hamstring, glute and core strength. Therefore, I do think it's appropriate that it's overseen by none other than Mr. Boba Fett, Bounty Hunter extraordinaire. And the workout today is going to be another giant complex of about maybe five or six different movements. All of them undertaken explosively. I a nice controlled downward part of the movement, I eccentric part of the movement with a pause at the bottom and exploding upwards as fast as you can. We're going to start off with a single leg deadlift, 5 to 10 reps on each side before moving into the diamond press up, somewhere between 5 to 10 reps. Then into the single leg Romanian deadlift, again 5 to 10 reps on each side before moving into the jumping lunge, again 5 to 10 reps on each side before finishing off with the wide press up, again 5 to 10 reps. At the end of the giant complex, we're going to have probably 90 seconds to 2 minutes, 2 minutes absolute max rest. I've just completed the first of the giant complexes, now onto the second. What are you doing? Deep grip, air into the core. Third set.
just under 4 minutes for that giant complex. And you can see how hard I'm breathing, heart rate's elevated nicely, but also you'll see how hard I was working to keep myself stable for a few of those reps. Really had to re-engage the core, focus on squeezing the glutes, the hamstrings, the quad, and getting the stabilizing muscles in the knee engaged. So if you do have a little wobble around, it's not an issue. That's part of the reason we do the single leg training. Really getting people to focus, us to focus on the mind muscle connection and engaging the core and the stabilizing muscles. And hopefully Boba Fett, that was okay. Now I'm going to cut it short at 3 sets of giant reps because I am just coming back from the appendicitis. But you could go on to do 4 or 5, no problem at all. And normally I think I probably would do at least 4. But now, to round off the training, it's going to be some zone 2. But again, with the focus on the KOM hunting, courtesy of Keith Robertson, going to go back for some of that kind of out of the saddle, low cadence work, but at the kind of 200 to 220 watts, i.e. tempo level for me. We're just looking to complete the final part of the aspiring KOM hunter workout, but ahead of that, we've just done 15 to 20 minutes warming up here, zone 2, focusing on pedaling technique, nice circular pedaling motion, including the pull through, even distribution of power. And I've been doing it while watching none other than Mr. Ed Lavarak's top 3 indoor climbing workouts. And obviously I recognise a lot of the training sessions, they've been super helpful for me. Zone 3, zone 4, in the 40-20s, that kind of thing, but also the dreaded Superman. I see a third workout that I haven't yet done, where Ed is prescribing, I think, 5 intervals of 8 minutes of VO2 max. And he says the intent, and it's a rare intent, is to hurt yourself. So I'm dreading that one, Ed. Anyway, I digress. So having warmed up, it's time to hit the final part. And these are the kind of zone 2, lower zone 3 efforts at low cadence, out the saddle, prescribed by Keith Robertson. So here we go. Changing up through the gears. Aiming for 50 to 60 RPM. Keith was absolutely right on that. It's more comfortable at the lower cadence. Instantly you can feel the hamstrings and the glutes having to get involved. Warmed up nicely from the workout earlier. And Keith, I gotta say, I salute you, sir. 10,400 meters of climbing, 254 kilometers, 13 hours on the bike. That's more than an Everest, I think. Sensational. And I understand from what you've said that these low cadence, out the saddle drills were super helpful to complete that. Nice effort. Anyway, I'm going to do these for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes seated, and then 10 minutes more. Another 5 minutes seated, then 10 minutes more, and that'll do me. So, if you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I'll be super grateful if you would. And then onwards, for a really interesting group training tomorrow. One of the Zwift classic trainings. Really looking forward to that. And maybe a shorter Zwift race midweek. We're just coming to the end of the first 10-minute standing drill. And I found I went out a little bit too hard when I was kind of talking you through what I was just doing there. I was in the kind of 250 to 270 watt range. But by increasing the gears to the maximum gear here, gear 22, I was then able to find a really comfortable tempo. And for me, that was 200 to 210 watts. And really that's been the focus, to really feel the leg muscles working, the core stabilising, but more importantly to feel like I can keep going in this position for a long, long time. And the heart rate has been kind of 140 to 148 throughout this little 10-minute effort. I definitely feel like I've got a lot more in the tank here. So yeah, this is really nice, Keith. I'm just coming towards the end of one of the seated segments for 5 minutes, around about 80 RPM. And it's exactly the same as it was last week. But when you come off the back of a standing segment, it feels like you're floating on air. The pedalling stroke is super efficient. And that's kind of demonstrated, hopefully here you can see, by a nice green watt bike sausage that denotes 50-50 distribution of power through the legs and a circular pedalling motion, a push down and pull back. Much more efficient that way. So Scott, king of the KOM hunters. Hopefully this little workout this morning arms you with a couple of tools maybe to go and hunt down a KOM with an actual incline. Go figure. And then turning to the process of repairing muscle damage. So I'm using a protein supplement, either PhD's Diet Whey product, which is obviously whey protein, an animal product, not suitable if you're a vegan, or I'm using vegan protein. It's a pea protein source, and this one's by Reflex. It's pretty good chocolate taste. I always mix up my protein shake with some berries and obviously also the hippie milk. And the berries are there really to deliver a load of vitamin C, and that helps calm the body down, reduce cortisol, reduce adrenaline post the training. And then I'll typically have a carbohydrate source, e.g. a bagel with peanut butter and jam. Now pre-workout, especially if I'm not racing, it's just going to be the cold coffee with amino work capacity. Again, this one's from Phil Richards. And because the amino acids are basically the building blocks of protein, I don't believe that's an animal product. I think it's good to go for a vegan. And if I'm racing, I'll add in to the pre-workout a carbohydrate supplement. That one is highly branched chain cyclic dextrin. It's got a smaller carbohydrate molecule, therefore gets into the bloodstream easier because the body isn't having to digest it as much. Well, other than the whey protein, everything there was vegan friendly, so hopefully that was useful. Not exactly the perfect KOM Hunter approved post-workout nutrition, but definitely what I'm going to be sticking with. And I've got out of the habit of saying this, but I'm going to say it. None of this is advice. You do whatever it is that you want to do. But whoever you are and whatever you do, please remember to live, thrive, and stay healthy.